Okay, so problem 22 is the name scores problem. Now for this we're going to download this file right here, so you want to right click and save link as, then save it in your working directory. So for me it's this folder right here. So this folder right here where I'm working in. So for you, save it in yours. Now we need to download this. It says it contains over 5,000 names. Step 1 we need to sort it into, well, step 1 we need to download and open this, read it somehow. Then we need to sort this file in alphabetical order, and then we have to work out the alphabetical score for each name, multiply this value by its alphabetical position in the list, and obtain a score by doing that. So for example, this is how you do the score of Colin. Once we have these scores, we need to sum them all, and that will be our answer. So yeah, download file, read file, sort file, sort list, alphabetical order, score all the names, and sum them. That should be the steps. So yeah, let's get going. So I've already downloaded the file, saved it as like names.txt I think. So I'm not going to be doing that right now, but what we're going to do, we're going to define main. We're going to see if we can open it. So we're going to have names file is equal to open, and then names.txt I think I saved it as. I'm not certain we've done anything like this before, opening files, but basically when you open a file, this is how you do it. Call the open method. Now you're also meant to be closing files as well. So we should do like a close I think, and then names.txt. Just want to check this doesn't throw up any errors. So we save this, run this. No, so it's not actually that. One other way to do this, instead of doing that, you can do so like with, whoops. This is how I normally do it. So you say with, and then what you want to call it. So with file as, and then we're gonna have open names.txt. Don't know why there's an extra set of brackets around that. Names file equal to file, and with that it should automatically close the file for you after it's been read. So let's just see that works. I got these the wrong way around. Maybe these need to be, I haven't done this in absolutely ages, opening files and stuff. Let's just check that works. There we go, so we've got no errors now. So now if we print out our names file, you see we get a basically a wrapper object, a text wrapper object. The mode is R, this is for read, you can read the file. So yeah, let's get working with this. So we don't need to be printing that anymore. Let's get rid of that. Now what we need to do is we need some way of reading this. So what we can say is for I in names file. So we're going to actually put this in a list. So if I just, we have names list, make this empty. Then we're going to say for I in names file, names list dot append, and then we're going to append I. Now this isn't going to work how we want it to, but I just want to show this for now, and then we can explain how to fix it. So what this is going to do, whoops, when it works. Oh, okay, so this actually all needs to be inside here. There we go. So this might look fine, to you. It might look like we've now created a list with all these names in, but if you see right here, we've got an extra comma, sorry, an extra quotation mark. Now this is because all of these names here are technically one element, so we can show this by instead of printing out the entire list, if we just print out the 0th element and I save that, you're going to see the exact same thing get printed out, except this time without the extra quotation mark on the end and without the square brackets. And now if I try to print out like the 1st element, that doesn't actually exist, so it's out of range. So what we need to do here is we need to split the list somehow. So what we're going to have is, we've created this names list now, so we don't actually need to worry about being inside this loop anymore. We can now get out of there, and we can say, actually we're going to rename this. This isn't really a names list anymore. This is like, I won't worry about that, never mind. So we'll have, we'll call it new list. Whoops. And this can be an empty list. And now we're going to say, we want to, for I in, so what we're going to do, we want to split the element. So if I print out names list 0.split, and then I split by commas, what does this do? So you see here we get all these different like names in their own element now. You've got like a quotation mark here and a quotation mark here, so this is now one element. So what we want to do is we want to say new list is equal to this thing. So new list is equal to names.list 0.split, and then we're splitting by the comma. And then what we want to do is we want to print out this new list instead of that thing. Now hopefully we get the exact same thing, and we do. So now if I print out the 0th element of this, we should just see a single name, and we do, we see Mary. And if I print out, say, the 100th, it should exist and should be some other random name. So we've got Peggy. So yeah, I'm not sure if I've used split before. I would imagine I have earlier on, but basically it just takes this huge block of text, and at every point it finds a comma, it creates a new element out of it basically. I don't know too much about like technically what it's doing, but that is how it works, and that's what I'm using it for. So yeah. So now we've got this list of all these individual elements. Things get a lot easier to work with. So now we can say sorted list is equal to new list dot sort, and then print sorted list. As far as I know, this should now put them all in alphabetical order, and it hasn't. So what we need to do is this instead. The other one does it in place. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but basically one doesn't work, try the other. So yeah, this worked. We've got them all in alphabetical order. Yeah, it worked fine. So what we're going to do now, we're going to score all these. So rather than printing this, I'm going to say alphabet is equal to, and now we're just going to create a list of all the letters in the alphabet. So whoops, there's got to be a quicker way of doing this. Feel free to just skip like 30 seconds, a minute in advance to where I've already done this. Okay, so now if we print len alphabet, just to check I didn't miss any, get 26. Now what we can do is we can say so we can use this alphabet to return the scores, because for example if we look here, so C for example is the third letter in the alphabet, so you got A, B, C, and that's worth 3 points. So you can see how we're scoring stuff here, it's based on its position in the alphabet. So what we're going to do, this is why I've typed out a new list, we're going to use its position in the list. So obviously this is the 0th element, and we want to make that the 1st element instead. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put like a blank in here. No, I'll add this in the calculation manually. So what I might do, in fact I'm going to define score name, and that's going to take in a name, and it's going to return a score. Now the way it returns a score is it's going to use the alphabet. So alphabet is that, and so score is equal to 0, and now I'm going to say for I in name score plus equals, and then so what this is going to do, for I in name is going to loop over each individual letter in the name. I'm going to say the score plus equals, God, how do you return the position of an element? I'm going to have to Google that, I'm having a blank. Okay, so we can enumerate over it apparently and pull the index. Guess we can do that. So for index and s in enumerate, then we need our list, so our list is alphabet. We could print out the index, but we don't actually want to be printing it. We want to say score plus equals the index plus 1, because our index is 1 out. Whoops, I just copied the strip from Stack Overflow and realised the S should actually be I. I think this should work. And then what we want to do is we want to say score name, and we want to score new list element 0, and we want to print this out to check it's working. So what this should do is return the score of the first element, the first name in the list. Hopefully it does. So we've got 2106. I have a feeling that's a little big. Just a little bit. So if I print out the new list element 0, so we've got Mary. Why is this returning 2100? So if I just print index right here. Okay, so it's actually, yeah. See, this isn't, I don't actually use this function. What I could do here is say, So we can have like counter equals 1. Now we can say for j in alphabet, if j is equal to I, score plus equals 1, plus equals counter, else, counter plus equals 1. And then when we exit that, we want to say counter equals, actually that doesn't matter, that's going to reset anyway. So what this does is we enter the loop, we set a counter equal to 1, and we say for j in alphabet, if j is equal to I, so I is the letter of our name, so for Mary it would be M originally. Now if M is equal to A, it's going to add 1. Okay, so my headset just cut out, but hopefully if we didn't just miss too much. Basically this is gonna this is sort of like a hacky way of enumerating over it and return the index basically of the letters. We return the score, print the score. Hopefully this makes sense. So yeah, 57 for Mary is a bit more reasonable. So now what we do is we get rid of this and we say sum of scores is equal to 0, and we say for I in sorted list. We're going to need a counter here, so counter equals counter equals 1, and now we're going to say sum of scores plus equals, and then we're going to have to say counter times by the score name of I, and then we're going to say counter plus equals 1. So this counter here is counting like which index of name it is, because when we work out our scores, if we go back here, you see Colin, it's a score of 53, but it's the 938th name, so it gets multiplied by 938. Now this 938 number is what the counter is calculating. So the first name is multiplied by 1, second one multiplied by 2, and so on, so on. And then at the end, we're just going to print the sum of scores. And hopefully, there we go, so 871, and you can see up here, this is right. So if I just drag this out the way, so you see them numbers match up, and we got an answer. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense to you. Let me know if it doesn't. The counter stuff was a little bit wacky, like putting in the manual counters rather than using the enumerate function like you probably should in this situation. But yeah, it works, so I'm not going to complain too much. Let me know what you think, let me know if you get stuck, if you need any help or whatever. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.